What is up, guys? Randomonium here with another LCS roster management video. This is the video series where I break down my LCS fantasy teams and kind of walk you through some of my mentality and who I'm going to be starting this week for my fantasy leagues. So, quick public service announcement. I'm going to try and standardize when I upload videos. So, Mondays is going to be these roster management videos, mainly because these don't take that much time and effort for me to do. It's pretty easy to upload them, it doesn't require a lot of editing. On Tuesdays, I'm going to be doing the breakdown and analysis videos, which are the very long and elaborate videos where I break down every single player into tiers. I was trying to do those on Monday, but it's just too much time and effort to crunch all the numbers and give you guys a quality product on Monday. So I'm going to guarantee that I'll put that out every Tuesday, so I can make sure that it is something that I'm proud of and that it's high quality. And then if there's a patch that's coming out a given week, I'll be doing a patch notes video either Wednesday or Thursday whenever the patch notes are published. And then on Fridays, I'll be doing the Learn from the LCS videos. And then finally, I'm also exploring the idea of possibly doing a little bit more instructional content. So I was thinking about starting off with a beginner's guide video for people who are either before level 30 or just reached level 30. So if you're one of those players who's brand new to the game and you want me to do a beginner's guide, let me know, and I'll be happy to do that. Or if you've got friends who are brand new to the game and you think that a beginner's guide would help them, leave a comment, and if I get enough comments and likes, then I'll do a beginner's guide video. But let's get into this week 4 roster management. So I've got 6 fantasy leagues I'm going to go through. I do different things in every single league, and sometimes I do crazy stuff that doesn't pan out very well. But this week I'll probably play a little bit more conservative. So for top lane, I've got Parang and Seraph. Unfortunately, Parang had a really bad week 3. Seraph has definitely been a lot more consistent, and I was really impressed with how Envy played against Immortals last week. So I'm going to start Seraph, even though Envy has a pretty hard week in TSM and Cloud9. I think he'll still get a decent amount of points this week. For jungle, I've got Airwalks and Yankos. So HUK probably has an easier week than Rockcat, and if we look at the points, it looks like Yankos is averaging more points than Airwalks pretty much every single week, so I'll keep him as a starter. For mid lane, my options are Betsy or Pobelter. And if we look, actually, Betsy was actually getting more points per week in weeks 1 and 2, but then he really kind of suffered in week 3. Pobelter's been much more consistent, so I will start Pobelter, though I might have Betsy at a flex. For my AD carry, my options are Sven and Freeze. I'm pretty sure that Sven has outpointed him every single week. Yes, he has, so I'll be starting Sven as my AD carry. And then support, I've only got Kiwi Kid, and he hasn't been doing that well, so I'll probably try to trade for someone better. And then for the flex, my options are Betsy, Airwalks, Freeze, and Parang. And if we look at their schedule this week, both my I've got 3 Rocket players, Unicorns of Love and Fnatic, and then H2K, Splice, and Unicorns of Love. We look at the historical week by week. This is definitely a difficult decision, but I'm going to lean towards Freeze for right now. I think that Rockcat is much better than they played in week 3, but I'm definitely a little bit worried after that week 3 performance. I feel like starting Freeze is probably a safer pick this week. So then if we go over to the trade tab for this league, you can take a look at support. That's definitely somebody that I want to look at. So for supports, I've got Matt, Hako, Big, Spraddle. So they're saying Matt's going to get the most points this week. I don't agree with that. If we go to the stats, not by owner. I'm going to go by position. So just go for support and go to total points. Hako has been getting the most for the split, then Spraddle, And then Matt's like way down here. And then even recently, Spraddle and Hakuo outpointed Matt in week 3. So I would really narrow it down to Hakuo and Spraddle. So if we look at what their matchups are this week, Hakuo's got the TSM and Cloud9, and I've already got Seraph, so that's definitely something to consider. I don't want to overload my roster with Team Envy when they have a very difficult week. And then Spraddle's got G2 and Giants. So I think I'm going to go for Spraddle, just so I can have a little bit more diversity in my team. I I think that there's a pretty good chance that Hako could outpoint Spraddle this week, but there's also a chance that Envy gets absolutely crushed. And I don't want to have two of my players not get that many points this week. So I'm going to go for the more conservative option this week. And that looks pretty good. If I go to the matchup, estimated points, I definitely have more estimated points. But he does have a lot of Fnatic players and Meteos and Bjergsen, so his team's pretty stacked. So this is going to be a very difficult week for me. So I'll probably have to go back and look and make sure that I definitely have the best possible options. So let's move on to the next fantasy league I'm in. So for top lane, my options are Odomne or Parang. So if we look at who they're going up against, I think I'm going to go with Odo this week. Yeah, much more consistent. Yeah. So I'll go with Odo for this week. For jungle, I have Airwalks and Santorin. Well, that's not very good options. So yeah, I'll probably try to trade for a better jungler. Perks is my mid laner. That's fine. I know that he's been doing much better than Phoenix every week. Oh, actually, Phoenix did better than him in week 3. Yeah, I'm going to keep Perks in, though. Wild Turtle and Adrian, yes, I'm definitely going to keep them in as my bot lane. For Flex, I've got OHQ. So let's look at the week to week. This is a tough one. I'm leaning towards Phoenix just because they had a pretty good week 3, and I think they'll have a pretty good week 4 as well. However, even that is pretty risky. I could go for Parang again. He did have a good week 1 and week 2, but that's definitely also another risk. I'm going to start Phoenix at flex for right now, and I'm going to go look at the trade and see if I can pick up somebody who's a little bit better. All right, so for jungle, I have Airwalks and Santorin. So who could I go for? Well, Trashy's available. He's been pretty consistent. Gilius is available. He's also been consistent. And then Maxlore has been doing pretty well recently. So if we go to the stats tab, Trashy, Gilius look like they're the best overall. But then recently, Maxlore got second highest among junglers in week 3. And then he's pretty low there. Trashy Gilius. Okay, so it looks like Trashy Gilius are probably better options. So let's look at what their matchups are this week. So Splice has got Origin and H2K. And Shaka has G2 and Giant. I'm gonna go for Trashy because I feel like he has been more consistent overall. And then for AD carry, I've got OHQ is my bench. Sunstar's available, Keith, Veritas, Apollo. Not really interested in that many of these. I could go for Xpeke, starting him at as an AD carry. Look at the stats though. The Sunstar's been doing actually really well, actually even better than Wild Turtle on average. Okay. I think I'm gonna actually take a risk. I'm going to pick up Sunstar. Have some fun with this. I've been definitely really disappointed with how NRG has been playing. I feel like they're really underperforming. So yeah, I'm kind of jumping ship on NRG until they prove themselves a little bit better. All right, so let's go back to the roster, make sure we've got everything we want. So go back to the flex because that's really the one that we're interested in. So my options are really, do I want to start Phoenix or Parang or Sunstar? That's a really difficult one. If we're going off just purely off performance, recent performance, I would say Sunstar. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna trust the. Even though I think Giants is a really bad team, they've been putting up a lot of fantasy points. So I'm gonna just go with it. I think they're going up against Shaka and Vitality, so that's not a terribly hard week for them. So they definitely could pick up a game or two. So yeah, he could put up a lot of points this week. So yeah, I think I feel pretty comfortable with that. Okay, all right. Next fantasy league, I have Odo and Ray for top lane. That's two pretty awesome top laners. Actually, Ray's actually one of the best in the league right now. Uh, Liquid Echo Fox, Splice, and Unicorns. Okay, so I think they'll both have pretty good weeks. Ray's actually been doing better on average. I have a slight lean towards Odo just because H2K I feel like is a better team, but I'm pretty H2K heavy in this league, so I might consider putting in Ray, but I think I'm going to keep Odo in for right now. Yankos versus Trashy for my jungler. Yeah, I think Yankos is definitely the way to go there. Bjergsen or GBM? Yeah, Bjergsen's going to win that one. Yep. And then for 80 carry, got Wild Turtle or Kabi. Kabi's actually been doing really well, but I'm going to keep Wild Turtle in. Kabi will probably be my flex pick. And then Vander support, that's fine. And then looking at the stats, Ray's definitely good. Kabi's really good. I think I'm gonna go with Kabi for right now. I might put in Ray later on. I'll have to think about that one a little bit more. If we go to the trade screen, the only person I would consider trading would be GBM. Who do I have available? I've got Betsy. Betsy's been doing really well. Um, Knight's been doing really well. Let's look at the stats. I might just hold on to GBM because he's like the core of NRG, and if he starts getting hot, then he might be worthwhile having around like later on in the season. So Knight, Betsy, Sencox all have been doing really well. Wow, man, Knight was the top mid laner last week. Sencox did really well. Knight again, week 2, did really well. I don't think anybody's gonna pick up Knight this week, so I'll hold on to GBM for one more week, and if he still doesn't perform after this week, this is a pretty easy week for them, Cloud9 and Phoenix, so they should be able to get at least one win. If he can't perform this week, then I'll probably trade him for somebody else. Okay, on to the fourth fantasy league that I have. For top lane, I've got Odo and Seraph, both very good top laners. Seraph has actually performed better than Odo, but as far as the week is concerned, I feel like H2K has a much safer week, so I'll probably stick with Odo this week. For junglers, I've got Yankos and Trick, so wow, two really good junglers. I think I'll stick with Trick. He seems like he's been performing better recently. Mid lane, I've got Phoenix and GBM. Oh man, that's a little bit rough. Both of them have been doing pretty poorly. I'll definitely start Phoenix. I think that Team Liquid's on the rise, but I definitely gotta look for possibly another mid laner. Uh, 80 carry, I've got Sven and Laud. Laud actually played out of his freaking mind this past week. He did amazing. But obviously Sven is Sven, and he's probably one of the best in both NA and EU at 80 carry. But I'll probably have Laud as my flex pick here. Yeah, if we look at the for flex, yeah, I think it's no question. Laud is definitely going to be my starter for flex. If we go over to the trade tab, see what mid laners we've got. Definitely have Knight. Got Keen. Keen has actually put up a lot of stats. Um, he's really undervalued right now. Yeah, we can see he's currently number 7 among mid laners. Top point scorer week 1. Looked like he dropped off week 2 pretty hard. Yeah, way down there. But then week 3, where is he? Oh, there he is right there. He's number 6. Do I jump ship on GBM? Pick up Keen. The fact of the matter is I don't think anybody's going to pick up Keen. I don't think anybody's going to pick up Knight, which would be the two that I'd be looking at for mid lane. But do I want to start Keen or Knight over Phoenix? Is kind of the real question that I have to ask myself. I think the Team Liquid will beat Apex, but I think that Apex will beat Echo Fox. And I don't think that Team Liquid will beat Immortals. So they'll probably get pretty similar points, and I feel like Phoenix and GBM are probably higher priority, so I'll probably just hold off on any trades for mid lane. But like I said earlier, if GBM doesn't perform this week, then I definitely have a lot of options. I can pick up Keen or I can pick up Knight if Knight plays well again this week. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to do for this week. That looks like a pretty good team. All right, moving on to 5th Fantasy League. I picked up Expect when I heard that Kikis was getting dropped. Got lucky, so I'm definitely going to play him. He played really well week 3. For jungler, my options are Meteos or Trick. That's a tough choice. We look at points. Pretty even, actually. Trick's been doing a little bit better recently. I think I'm going to start Trick. I think he's slightly better. We look at mid lane. I've got Hui and Fox. And Fox has actually beaten him every single week. So I think that's a pretty clear answer there. For 80 carry, I've got Freeze and I've got Piglet. Piglet didn't play last week. I did look at, why, and Locodoco said that they were just going to give Fabi a shot, and it wasn't that Piglet was getting benched. But I'm not so sure about Piglet this week. Maybe they bench him again this week. I don't know. So I'm not going to start him because I think that's really high risk that he might not play this week. So anyway, I've got Vander at support. So Freeze Vander support, 80 carry seems pretty good. And then for the flex position, I think I am going to have to go with Meteos as my flex. Let's take a look at who we have available. Who he has definitely not been performing. As far as personnel that we've got, Froggen hasn't been performing either. Knight, we've already talked about. Keen, we've already talked about. So yeah, I could pick them up if he continues to underperform. And then at 80 carry, I don't really want to give up Piglet because I think he's going to do really well later in the season. And I don't think anybody's going to pick up Sunstar or Laud. So yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good for that league. Should be fine. All right, and the last fantasy league, my options are Odo or Quas. I think that's a pretty one-sided decision. Yep, Odo is definitely better. Junglers, we've got Meteos or Svenskeren. Meteos definitely wins that one as well. Mid lane, Pobelter or Huhi. Pobelter definitely wins. And then for AD carry, we have Wild Turtle or Steelback. So Steelback has been less consistent, but he has gotten more points. So I'll start Wild Turtle, so I'll Wild Turtle Adrian, and then for Flex, I'll probably start Steelback. Yeah. Svenskeren would be kind of a safer pick. I'll put in Steelback, and then I'll take a look at who I'm going up against and see whether or not I need the extra points. I think I'm actually fine. He's starting Kikis, who's not going to get any points. And then Nuke Duck and Vitality have not been performing very well. So I could play pretty safe and just go Svenskeren and guarantee that I'll get, 60 points, which could be pretty good. I'll have to think about that one, whether I want to go a little bit more risky with this one. But yeah, let's go to the trade tab, see if there's any good trades that we can get. Given's obviously here. Nope, not going to pick him up. He's not playing anymore. Alright, Quas. Do I want to get rid of Quas for somebody else? Well, Soaz is available. Steve's available. Soaz really hasn't been performing that well, though. Go to top lane. Wonder's been performing well. Steve's been performing alright. Soaz is kind of down here. Quas is down there. I actually feel like Wonder is a better pick. Just looking at week to week, he's a more consistent pick. Even though they say that he's 39 points. That's really odd. Yeah, I'll pick him up. I don't think Quas is going to do well. Alright, so yeah, that's all 6 of my fantasy drafts. I feel like I'm pretty good. I've been less successful with some than with others, but hope you guys found that insightful. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'll definitely answer it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like the content on the channel, please subscribe. I will be posting the more in-depth analysis tomorrow, Tuesday, so definitely watch that. But I hope you guys have a great day. This is Randomonium, signing off.